Sports Talk Line Network is proud to bring you Joshua Griffith.
Nate?
Yeah, no.
Oh, we're good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh. So I am so very happy to welcome back to the show Vancouver Whitecaps CEO and Sporting Director, Axel Schuster.
I want to cover playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the fans to enjoy and experience playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the Canucks to win a Stanley Cup for this city.
Just, as I said, wild. It's not what you would expect, other than good football, which the NFL, I got to say, they're doing a heck of a job of delivering.
You can't diminish what he's done. And this isn't just to be an honorary award. I think the numbers that he's put together on both sides are warranted of an MVP.
You went right for the crest and gave it a big kiss as you were running towards the fans. It was
so funny, honestly. I always was laughing about players who do that because I'm like, come on, stop this shit. And it just happens out of emotion.
Here's your host, Joshua Griffith.
the LA Rams are the Super Bowl champions. My hangover is complete after a week, and I'm back here on the Unnamed Sports Show to break down a huge weekend that was for NFL fans, sports fans, and especially all of you Rams fans. I am, of course, your host, Joshua Griffith, here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. We got a big week to talk about in the National Football. The season may be over, but the celebrations continue, including Aaron Donald unable to locate his shirt and make the rounds on night shows. Matthew Stafford winning his ring and walking away from his problems. Let's hope the show isn't as awkward as that, as I'm going to break down the Super Bowl win with none other than Sports Talk Line's senior NFL analyst, Stephen VanOver. He is fresh out of LA County Jail and ready to chat about all things Cooper Kupp, Joe Burrow, and the referees. But of course, before we get into that, we need to take care of some housekeeping duties. So make sure to follow and subscribe to the Sports Talk Line channel. Give the video a like down at the bottom, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Joshua Griffith0. Finally, be sure to check out some of the Sports Talk Line website and all of our wide array of content we have for you. Create an account and start chatting sports today. Now that we have wrapped up more than Aaron Donald on Joe Burrow, let's break down Super Bowl 53 with my guest, Stephen VanOver. All right, now that we have wrapped that up, I'm joined now here on the Unnamed Sports Show, fresh after a week-long Super Bowl party in LA, senior NFL analyst for Sports Talk Line and king of Long Beach, Mr. Stephen VanOver.
All right, man. Happy to be here.
Thanks for hopping on with me today. How was your Super Bowl?
We're still buzzing out here. Long Beach is in LA County, and we were actually very close to SoFi Stadium. You just kind of sneak up the back way and, like we get into the airport. The energy, the excitement, everything that was going on, the parade. I mean, come on, your city won a Super Bowl. This is exciting.
No, it was good. And obviously, the LA Rams beat the Bengals 22-20 thanks to a final drive by Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. A great defensive series by the Rams was capped off with, of course, Aaron Donald getting to Joe Burrow. What storylines did you like from the weekend?
Oh my goodness. And there are so many storylines to jump on. Oh, wow. But, you touched on the ones that just has everybody's attention. Matthew Stafford. They sold the farm to get this guy. I mean, after they'd already sold the farm to get the first guy, To get Goff,
my giraffe, yeah.
I mean, several draft picks to move into position to get Goff. Then they doubled down and give several more to trade him and get Stafford. And a lot of people were going, what? And, Richard Sherman, for instance, is definitely not a Matthew Stafford fan. He's like, the guy's never won an MVP, he's never been an all-pro, he's never been this, he's never been that. It's like, dude, he's in Detroit. You don't get all-pro in Detroit at quarterback when Brett Favre, is around in Green Bay. It doesn't happen. So you look at this guy's numbers, you look at what he did. A lot of people want to compare him to Tony Romo, for instance, saying, Tony Romo is another guy that had really great numbers in the regular season, but Stafford never won a playoff game, never done this, never done that. He is not Tony Romo. This guy's the real deal. Hey, Tony Romo doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. So you just can't go there. You just can't go there. This guy was worth his accolades. He had already earned them. The serious football minds were looking around going, wow, I can hardly wait to see what this guy can do once he gets to LA, once he has a defense. So that storyline is just unreal. But the big storyline, the one that I'm uber excited about, is the Aaron Donald story. Oh my goodness. Oh, I mean, what's not to love about
Got his
that?
ring. Got
the ring, baby. He got the ring.
Of course. I mean, you don't even have to think about it.
And does he deserve it? Oh, yes, indeed does he deserve it. What he did, he's not a rah-rah guy. He doesn't get the team together before the game and put them in the circle. That's not his thing. He's a lead by example guy. But against, to get to the Super Bowl, he had this meeting on the sideline in the second half and said, got his guys around him and said, this is what we're doing. I didn't come this far to fail. And that other team did not score on them after that. Same type thing here, man. The Bengals were doing pretty good. And then the guy goes on the sideline and puts his hand in Donald's face, and riles him up. Why would you do that? Why would you, tease a cobra?
Don't poke the bear. Yeah. Tease a cobra. I love that.
Talk about, man, waking the sleeping giant. After that, and a lot of people go, oh, no, that really wasn't that big a deal. Bull. It was a huge deal because the man came back after that and he was already doing good, but they were moving the ball. After that, it was Sackville. Basically, the last possessions, I think the last 8 possessions that the Bengals had, 7 sacks.
Yeah. And a Super Bowl record. It was absolutely phenomenal. We knew that the LA Rams defense was going to be a factor if they were going to win this game. And after the first half, we were kind of scratching our heads going, hey, are they showing up? But Jalen Ramsey was getting, minus the pass interference call that was missed in the second half, but he wasn't playing well in the first half, and he didn't really have one of his.
He wasn't playing Jalen Ramsey. No, he was doing okay. You got to realize who he's going up against, man. These guys are for real. And that connection between Burrow and, oh, geez. He's been with this guy since college, okay? Him and Chase are like this. That was like Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. That was like Jerry Rice and any quarterback they ever played with. This guy creates a connection out there, and if he's one-on-one, he's open.
So, obviously, some people are saying that the Bengals lost this one. What do you think? Because,
I understand what you say by that. I understand what you're saying by that. No, Aaron Donald and company won this one. Okay. That's defense wins championships, people. Defense wins championships. And that's what, and I give all of the respect in the world to the Bengals, all of the respect. This reminds me of the old Dallas Cowboy, Pittsburgh Steelers championship matchups, where those are considered, top 5 Super Bowls of all time, because neither team lost. One team won.
Yeah.
But neither team lost. Both teams are just, they did phenomenally. Just the other team was better on that given Sunday. And that's just the way it is. A lot of people are going to get upset about the flags and stuff like that at the end of the game. Man, those flags were earned. They had a hold of the guy's jersey, pulling on him, this and that. I can't believe that they missed the face mask against Jalen Ramsey early.
That was bad. So that was something I did want to touch on. Obviously, was I played football. I know that the calls go both ways, and that kind of seems like what we saw on Super Bowl Sunday was just actual penalties being called. I didn't have any disagreements with some of the calls, and there was maybe only 1 or 2 non-calls that I was egregious, but they ended up going the right way. So
yeah, at first they were trading bad non-calls. on both sides. I mean, they were quote unquote letting them play. And then when it got to the end, when you tug on a guy's jersey right in front, I mean, when you hold him right there on the line, and this was on Cooper Kupp. I mean, just as he goes to make his cut, he knew he was beaten, so he grabbed him. Okay, and that's a penalty, man. I am shocked that they called it, though, because they were just not calling them. I'm glad they did, because, oh, man, a non-call there would have just been horrible. Just horrible. But speaking of Cooper Kupp, oh, my goodness. Oh,
what a game.
The separation that guy gets. The separation. I mean, you had to look at the Rams, and they were one injury away from not being able to field a team on offense.
They were going down very quickly.
I mean, no tight end, or, they were using their third tight end. They had Cooper Kupp, though. And if you're the Bengals, how does he get so open?
I have no clue.
Did you see the separation on this guy? And yeah, I understand technically how he's done it, because I looked at the replays, and he sets it up so beautifully. He knows immediately if it's zone or man-to-man. So he knows going out, okay, if it's man-to-man, he's going to get close to the guy and then separate from him. All right. And if it's zone, he sees it's zone, and then he angles away from the guy so that now he's not deep in his zone. He's on the edge of his zone, and then pulls away from it. Yeah. And so now he's in the hole between zones. He reads it beautifully. I see what he does. Why are they just putting one guy on him? That's what I want to know.
I have no clue. I'm not going to try and profess my want for the Bengals to have double covered him, but yes, just the way, if you watch Cooper Kupp, because he doesn't have blinding speed, but if you watch some of the things he does, there's little technical things, his footwork on routes. There's things that we were taught as wide receivers, though. If you're breaking off a certain route, you want to get body position on the defender. And he does it so much better than anyone else in the league right now. The way he's able. Sorry, go ahead.
He does the Michael Irvin thing too. Not all the time, because you get in trouble for it. Where in order to make a cut right to left, take your arms, reach out, and then pull them back as you make your cut. You do that with your hips. That's going to gain you a few nanoseconds. It does increase. And then Michael Irvin took that technique and said, look, if you're man-to-man on me, and I happen to hit you and I do this, I don't know what the hey, whoa, it's not my bad. That's not my bad. And I saw Kupp do that a couple of times. I was like, ooh, he's added that to his repertoire now. And I think it came because, they're basically hammering him up when they're man on man. They say, okay, you're going to get in close to me. Let's get close. And he said, okay. Boom. See ya. We don't want to be you. They're letting me play today. And just MVP. I don't have a problem with it. I think it should have been co-MVP. I think Aaron Donald deserved it every bit as much as Cooper Kupp. I don't really care. I think they're fine with it. Aaron Donald's just fine with that ring. That's the real thing that he wanted. But, I want to talk about Sean McVay and why they were at the Super Bowl and why they won the Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
Sean McVay, I've seen several interviews on this, and I'm fascinated by it. He admits, he looks right in it and says, hey, the first Super Bowl, I was out-coached.
Yeah.
And he was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from top to bottom, he was out-coached. And he studied Bill Belichick. I mean, that if you're going to study a coach, that's one to study. And he's still emulating him. And he did, because he did the Bill Belichick thing. He studied himself. And he said, hey, I got out coached. I needed to make changes in what I do in my preparation. I looked at the mistakes I made, and I realized that, hey, with what's going on over here now over the next few years, they're catching up to me. I have to change what we're doing. I need a bigger element. I can't do it with scheme anymore. I could make Goff work with scheme, but now I can't. Yeah. So I'm going to have to make a change. And then, he went into how the whole thing happened, and they got Stafford, which is a whole story in itself. It's fascinating. And it really is a lot of wild luck things, being in the right time at the right place, and people go, no, did that really happen? Yeah, it really did. They were actually on vacation together. They were actually, and they happened to meet there. It just all came together. And offensive tackle Wentworth was huge in all this. And
Oh, yeah.
You will see him come back to the Rams or with Sean McVay as an assistant coach, as a coach of some way, some fashion. These two guys vacation together. They're like this together. Look for that guy to go on. Look for great things for him. Keep an eye on that guy as a coach. I mean, seriously, because these guys are hip pocket guys and they feed off each other. So that's a coach to watch for in the future. But basically, he studied what he did. He admitted and he studied it and he fixed it. And that's how you get better. That's how you excel. That's how you don't make the same mistake twice. That's what Sean McVay did. Nothing but props to the man. Golf clap.
So I'm joined by Stephen VanOver here on the Unnamed Sports Show. A lot of people have said that that's pretty much it. The Rams have mortgaged their future just for this Super Bowl. How do you feel about that? Because I think they still have a window. We've obviously seen now what Matthew Stafford can do around a good team. And from the sounds of a lot of the players, they want to run it back.
Oh, and that's exciting. Good job sneaking that in there, by the way. I love that.
Thank you.
Run it back. Yeah. That's the whole thing. You nailed it. They are at the beginning of their window. How long that window can stay open, that's interesting. Now, Matthew Stafford.
I think that depends on Les. Really, when it comes down to it depends on Kroenke and Les Snead and how they want to continue to go about. I mean, you can continue to mortgage for the future if you're not worried about it, and if you think that you have a window for several years.
And that's where they are right now. Of course, it's difficult to get guys to trade for a number one NFL draft pick in 2042, but I think that's when they have their next. So you don't get as good value on that, But no, that is the exact thing. But now beyond that, and OBJ is the example of the hope here. Just like with the Patriots were a destination for veterans who said, you know what, I want to ring.
Yeah,
they were a destination for that. I'll take league minimum, okay, because I got a good shot. I want this ring.
And it looks like we could see it with Von Miller next year as well.
Look what OBJ did to come in, and was he instrumental in this? I'll tell you what, I think he would have been the MVP if he had not been injured.
Oh, the way that he started the game, he was absolutely on fire. Like, he came out with a purpose. I think that the Rams.
Well, they were looking at Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I think the Rams would have probably blown this one out if OBJ hadn't got injured.
Oh, I agree.
And hopefully he has a speedy recovery, because the second knee injury in a couple of years, that's always tough, especially at his age, but hopefully.
And it's a non-contact, so
yeah.
Oh man, those generally come when the body starts breaking down.
That was bad. That was really tough.
The first one of those I saw was Tony Dorsett when he his last year he went up to the Denver Broncos. He was making a cut out into the flat, dropped like he was poleaxed. And then that's exactly the same type of reaction I saw with OBJ. But the point here is, and Cooper Kupp, all right? I mentioned earlier, why are they putting one guy on him? I actually meant at the line. They were putting two guys on him, all right? They were putting help over the top. They were bracketing him in coverage. But he saw that and said, okay, I can get in between this.
We just find the soft spots. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he would take a route he'd been running the whole game and break it back the other way and catch them shading. And which is what they did there in the fourth for that huge gain, him cutting out to the right. They were setting that up the whole game. And going back to the window, this is why their window may be longer than you think. Matthew Stafford is not the quarterback that he was 8 years ago. I mean, that guy then, it's like when you saw Brett Favre when he first came out, his arm was incredible. Now, when he got older, he still had a very good arm, but it wasn't. Yeah. And you've seen Matthew Stafford come up short on a lot of deep throws this season, haven't you?
Yeah, he did. For someone for especially when Jared Goff, just got traded. I reached out to Rams writer for the Athletic, Jordan Rodriguez, and she, I asked her, I was like, hey, can you confirm that Jared Goff can still throw a long pass? And she's like, yes, I can. He can still throw it. So obviously that wasn't the reason, but I think that it's something that you mentioned earlier in the interview here is the scheme. Is McVay knew that the scheme that he had with Goff wasn't going to be able to take them to that next step. And
absolutely not. Yeah.
And he needed to make a change. So obviously there was two teams in the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals, I think one of the teams that nobody thought would be in the Super Bowl this year, but they're young. Joe Burrow came out and said, obviously it sucked, but we'll get back. And I know, Van, you covered football for a long time. He might not get back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, ask Dan Marino how that worked out.
Yeah, especially looking at the AFC right now.
Oh, tremendously so. But I have to believe in Burrow. I have to believe in what that organization is doing right now. If they would have had an all-pro offensive center, I don't know who would have won that game. The Bengals totally changed their offense. When they came into this, they knew that they were not going to be able to really do much about the Rams pass rush. I mean, they knew it. And Burrow was getting that ball out fast.
It was quick, yeah.
But that compressed their offense tremendously. And of course, Mixon was keeping them in it, a combination of Mixon and them. And it just took a while for LA to adjust.
And it limited them because they're such a big game offense.
Yeah. But once they adjusted and they said, forget this. Okay, we're stopping the run now, which they pretty much did. And one of the big things I have to say is when it came down to third down, when with the game on the line in the fourth quarter, and Aaron Donald got the great stop on the running back and pulled him backwards. Why wasn't that Mixon? And it took a little while to get the play in, is what I heard. And that they just said, just leave him in there because he was in there for pass protection. He's a better pass protector. And they said, just leave him in there. He's been having an okay game. He had not having an okay game. He was averaging, I think, 1.1 yard a carry or some crap like that. I mean, that was a big error there. Mixon, would that have made a difference? I don't know. With Aaron Donald, probably not. But
yeah, that was perennial that they chose to go with in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals, against the Chiefs, and he performed pretty well, but that was just kind of at the end there. But he had done nothing up to this point in the playoffs, and he had done nothing up to the point in this game. I mean, he had 2 carries for 0 yards in the game. Why you don't have Joe Mixon in at that point is beyond me.
Just blew my mind. Well, it was pass protection, the blocking. Mixon is not that good of a blocker. The other guy is an excellent blocker. So, I mean, with the Rams coming out, and they were having to pass the ball. So, I mean, I get that. But, man, you have to make that swap. You have to make that swap,
But that goes to coaching. That goes to coaching. What you said, Sean McVay's been here. He's lost the Super Bowl at the hands of Bill Belichick and has had to learn. So
the Bengals
now it's the Bengals
coached. The Bengals got out coached, but they also got outmanned. The Rams had the better team, even with the injuries, because their defense was just so deep. But the Bengals are just an offensive line away from just being right back in the mix because Burrow, he is so impressive. So impressive. And that kind of skill that he demonstrates this year, that doesn't go away. That just gets better. So they're going to sign offensive linemen. They're going to start protecting him better. And that is just a scary, scary, scary thing. You're going to let Chase do double moves on you? You're going to give him time to do double moves? Whoa.
Yeah, that's true. They could be pretty dangerous next year. And that kind of brings me to my next point of looking forward to next year, because you are already well into NFL draft coverage.
Oh, yeah.
You have our awesome web stories on the Sports Talkline Network. They're up, they're going. I see you're doing your top 10 boards already. So I would imagine you're thinking the Bengals are going to be taking an offensive lineman?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And actually, I have them going after Tyler Linderbaum, offensive center. He's out of the offensive line, offensive guards, interior offensive guys that you're going to rank that are in the first 3 rounds. Okay, he's the only one that is a center. You're not going to put this guy at guard. You're going to put him at center. He is that good. He is center. And I would love for the Dallas Cowboys to get him at 24. But
we'll see.
But we'll see. But yeah, he's the best offensive center by far. He's an extremely good player, and man, but he's solidified their line, instantly making both of their guards better. So
sorry, go ahead. I was gonna let people know what they're seeing right now over this is the web stories. So I'll put a link down in the bottom, and you can click on some of these web stories. They're absolutely fantastic. Van's got the top 10 cornerback rankings up, top 10 edge rankings, top 10 interior offensive linemen.
Also put up the first mock draft of the first round, all 32 teams, where I picked Tyler Linderbaum for the Bengals and somebody else for the Cowboys, linebacker. Okay,
that's fantastic. So Van, can you just like let the viewers and stuff know, because obviously on the YouTube channel they might not be quite as familiar with our website and some of the stories we have going on here. Could you let some of the fans know what's going on with our web stories right now?
Okay, the web stories, which are the Google web stories, which is like the YouTube shorts, the Facebook stories, all that. It's the same type format, pages with audio and video and stuff like that. So we've got different web stories up. I've ranked my big board, the Sports Talk Line big board, I should say, is 250 players deep at this point. I hope to get it up to around 300 so that I can get a few punters on there,
the Aussies will love that. Get some punches in there.
Oh yeah. See, and then you also fulfill the international quota that way. And then from there, I of course am turning in and getting web stories where I have the top 10 offensive tackles, top 10 offensive guards, top 10 edge rushers, top 10 defensive tackles, which comes out later today, by the way.
Nice.
And then I'll be updating them almost every week and going out, and the web stories are great. They pop up and they go through really fast and give you the ranking, give you some information, and you can stay on top because, hey, the combine's coming up. So we're going to be watching that like crazy. We're going to continue to come out with the mock drafts. Right now, we're just doing 1-round mock drafts, and we're going to switch up here soon and do web stories that are going to be the LA Rams mock draft. It's great. I only got 2 picks, I think, something like that. So
that'll be a quick one. Yeah.
but you got to have deep, and as a matter of fact, that's why I got to go to 500 players, just so that I could get down to where the Rams picks
are finally drafted.
and the Bengals and these guys. And it's if you're a Bengals fan, if you're a Rams fan that doesn't even have a #1 draft pick, it doesn't matter. The NFL draft, they got Brady in the 5th round, which, by the way, the 5th round is where you guys have your first pick. So for this season. Okay.
Super Bowl, baby.
Exactly. Oh, what a ceremony this is going to be, man, because in LA, they do it big. And we'll see if we can keep all of the photographers on the dais this time, as opposed to falling into she just kept backing up.
There's a clip at the beginning of the show here in my intro of it. You'll have seen it already. But shout out to Matthew and Kelly Stafford for paying for all the medical bills, replacing the cameras.
Class act.
I saw there's a great GoFundMe as well going on, started by somebody to support her as well. So great for that. I hope that she's
a highly regarded photographer too.
Yeah, I hope she has a full and speedy recovery because
it's a silly thing. She stepped backwards off of the stage, and it was maybe moving a little bit, I heard, but she's well regarded, has paid her dues. She's done a lot of work across the league and across sports. And man, she hurt her back, and even worse, because trust me, I know how she feels, her equipment. So, and that is not inexpensive, man. So yeah,
Kelly Smiley, get better. I saw that picture of her at least getting to celebrate in the at SoFi under the confetti. So that was pretty cool, at least. But yeah, hoping her for a full and speedy recovery.
Yeah, and she's going to recover. She's a great photographer, and I feel certain she's going to jump back in there and be working again. She does have a GoFundMe. Search it out and help out this lady if you can. Certainly
yes,
appreciate
absolutely. So, Steven VanOver, I think we've pretty much run through our course of time. We're going to have lots of stuff to talk about in this year's offseason. As we've mentioned already, you're super busy at it. And fans can get ready for the combine and the draft because these things just kind of sneak up on you.
Oh man, it's there is no off season anymore. We have the combine coming up in a few weeks, and then after that, we're gonna free agency is hit. By the way, there's quite a few interesting free agents that the Bengals are going to be interested in, specifically along the offensive line.
Yeah.
And the Rams are I'm really interested to see who the Rams are going to be picking up in free agency. They will be getting some veteran assistants in there. I just don't know what's coming into the mix. But hey, if you're a veteran and you don't have the ring yet,
if you want to come to win, come
where
to
would
LA,
you go?
Baby. Come to
where
LA,
would you
baby.
go? And Aaron Donald is looking to get paid a little bit, so that's going to be interesting.
As he should.
The best player in the NFL.
Just give him whatever he wants. Okay, I was gonna let you go, but now I want to ask you real quick. He's on the Mount Rushmore of defensive players, right? In NFL?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I have him second behind LT.
He's a first ballot
above
Hall of Famer. Yeah, and then people say the best defensive player ever. No, he's not.
I have him behind LT, and I have Reggie White.
Oh man, I'll put him behind LT, and then after that, I haven't looked at it that deep yet, and I'm not going to, because he's still playing.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to rank him like him and Reggie White. And by the way, if you haven't seen Reggie White, do not argue that he is better or worse than Reggie White. Reggie White was a man.
He was a beast.
Oh, dude, sweet butter.
I think Reggie White made some people just decide to quit NFL.
Oh, the Reggie White hump, which was his move along the line. That was his go-to move, when he would hump them along the line and do it like only Reggie White could do. And it definitely ended some careers. I mean, definitely. There's no denying that. I loved him, longtime Dallas Cowboy fan here. And of course, if you're a fan, your team's only as good as your rivalries. I mean, what's USC without UCLA and so forth and so on. So, I mean, it's like that. So we're really excited. The Philadelphia Eagles were a great rivalry with the Cowboys, and I saw a lot of Reggie White. Ooh, nothing but respect for the man.
All right, Van, thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll chat again down the road. All right, so I hope that everyone enjoyed that breakdown of Super Bowl 53 with the Rams beating the Bengals 23-20. I was very happy about it on Sunday, as you could probably tell during the interview. Man kind of ripped me a bit for smiling too much to say, you got to be a little bit neutral in this. But no, I am quite happy that the Rams beat the Bengals. So make sure to like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already. Give the Sports Talk Line a YouTube channel a like and a follow as well. Check out all of our great content on the Sports Talk Line website, including some of the great web stories that you saw today that we were looking at. So Steven VanOver is going to have you covered for NFL offseason as we get into the combine and the draft. So make sure to check out for all of that. And you can check out more of my content too as the Vancouver Whitecaps season gets underway. So we'll be talking about a bit of a different kind of football on the show. So hopefully you enjoy that. I have been your host, Joshua Griffith, here on the Unnamed Sports Show. Remember to love sports, all sports.